everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm going to show you how to cook Swiss chard. Now, today it's Easter. We're doing Easter dinner for the next 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. So I wanted to do greens, and unfortunately I'm not down south where I used to be, and I didn't have a wide variety of greens today except kale, and I didn't want to do kale. I wanted to do collards or mustard greens or something like that, but they didn't have them. So I was even more pleased because I thought, man, Swiss chard would take way less time than doing some other greens that would take about an hour. Swiss chard cooks up similarly to spinach. It's very, very fast, and that makes me really happy today. Why not? Make your life easy, right? So what I've done is I've got some nice bunches of this. In fact, I got 2 bunches. I don't know if I'll need it all, but this will break down to a really small amount, way smaller than what you think. So I might just go ahead and do both amounts, both stacks. So what I'm starting with is, sometimes I would start with, bacon, or I'd start with a nice smoked sausage or something like that, even a smoked turkey leg or something of that nature. But today we are making ham. We're eating hickory smoked ham shank for dinner. So what I did was the ham shank, before I put it back in the oven with the brown sugar rub on, I cut off a little bit of it. It's already cooked, okay? It's already cooked, and I have a lot of the fat here. I have a little bit of meat, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna render some of that fat out of this tissue right quick. I have a large pot on my stovetop, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna throw this all in there and let some of that fat come out of it. That's gonna flavor everything up beautifully. While that's rendering and crisping up a little bit more, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna prepare the chard. Now, to prepare your chard, you're just gonna take it off of the white stalk. You don't need the white stalk at all. You can just peel it. I like doing things by hand. I don't need to cut it off. I save these for soups and stews and stocks. I freeze them in a resealable plastic bag in the freezer, so that when I'm making stock, I can just throw them, take them out. So I'm gonna break these into bite-size-ish pieces, as though you would be preparing a salad. And it's that simple. You hear everything sizzling in my pot, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the ham.
That's that ham. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be lovely.
Tasty. You want something to pair with this that's salty to cook it with when you're choosing a meat. Choose like a salt-cured pork belly or something like that. You'll be surprised at how delicious it is and how much flavor it imparts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful chard. That's why I chose it too.
It's so fresh. Look at that, and all curly.
Yes, ma'am. I think we're gonna do both batches, both bunches. Now, these greens tend to be very dirty or full of soil when you get them. Make sure you rinse them out very thoroughly under cold water before you start using them. Would you be so kind as to stir that around for me? Tell me what's going down.
Sure would.
Thanks, Mom.
I think it's a little high.
Well, turn it down for me. Smells so fresh. These are actually, you know what's so funny? These are from Texas. I just said I'm not south now, and I didn't have a wide variety of choices of greens today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that these actually came from Texas. Now this, you might think this is a huge amount, but these leaves, they just curl up and wither, and you'll be surprised. Yep, and you won't have a lot of them, so you want to make sure you have a ton of them in that pot if you want to have any kind of leftovers. Now these don't take long at all. However, if you're using other kinds of greens, they can take up to an hour to do. I think making greens for occasions brings a real soul food feel to your table.
Yes, it does. Greens and pork.
Pork and greens. Now the only reason I'm breaking them up is so that you don't have a big giant long piece of green on your fork. You want to have some nice smaller pieces to be able to pick up. How's it going there? Is it rendering fat? Is it doing what I want it to do?
Yeah, it's got lots of brown bits on the bottom.
Good.
It smells so good.
Does it?
Heavenly. Look how pretty that is.
Mm-hmm.
I love Swiss chard.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been growing it. I can't wait to grow the rainbow colored variety we had last year. Make sure you check out my shows on how to blanch and store Swiss chard, because we had Swiss chard all winter.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Grandma Turner used to stuff them like you would stuff cabbage rolls. Oh my, they were so
That's
good.
a great idea.
They have nice shaped leaves for doing that.
These are
They've got
beautiful. Yeah, they're nice
leaves
and
for
big.
Stuffing.
And look how much stuff we have for our stock.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. We'll have to make a vegetable stock of some kind.
Ooh.
It's so beautiful. It's pretty enough to use it as a centerpiece, Kim. I'm not kidding. Put it in a vase in the middle of the table.
There you go.
Gorgeous.
It is pretty, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
Totally. Now I'm going to rinse these up, but this is how you get them in nice bunches such as that.
Nice.
So I'm going to rinse these up and get another bowl prepared. So Mom's done a beautiful job for me. She has rendered this fat. We have some nice fat in the bottom with brown bits, and that's exactly what I want, is those brown bits. And the little bitty tiny pieces of meat in there. That's going to just flavor it just perfectly. Get them all prepared, and we'll be throwing it in a second. It's not that the stalks aren't edible on these Swiss chard. You can actually make a beautiful dish of Swiss chard noodles, so to speak. You can use them as ribbons almost. Especially if you have the rainbow colored ones, and you can use it with like pasta and serve it as a vegetarian pasta, you know, with sauce, etc. Very cool. Again, you can also leave the center ribbon if you want to, but I like mine out because I like everything to be of the same texture. It's like peeling them off of romaine ribs, lettuce ribs, when you're making a salad. Okay, I know this looks like a lot, but it's gonna be okay. And all of this gets saved in my freezer. Now, before I started, I probably had about a cup of fat and meat ham all together. Wouldn't you say, Mom? Okay. So now we've browned it up. Woo! We've got it sparking. It is popping. That's good. So we have these beautiful brown bits. We've got the meat. We've got the fat rendered, and we're actually leaving it all in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of deglaze the pan, so to speak, on the bottom with some chicken stock. You can use water if you want. You can use beef broth if you want. You can use wine if you want. That's about maybe a centimeter, I would say. And I'm just going to deglaze the bottom of that pan. Scrape off all those tasty bits on the bottom that you achieved and get that all in that liquid.
The house smells so good.
I like to use a paddle because it's the easiest way to scrape everything off. Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to throw in all of my Swiss chard. It might take a couple seconds for the first half to come down enough for you to put the rest in, but it won't take long. I also like to add about a pat of butter. Now stir that down. You want to keep it on a nice high temperature so that you can wither those leaves quickly and get the rest of them in there. Gorgeous. Next. The chicken broth gives you a nice savory flavor that you're going to be looking for. So very quickly, this is withered down, and it's coming down even more now. Now, sometimes I'll add garlic, sometimes I'll add onion to the beginning mixture, and that's good. Tonight, we're not doing that. No problem. I am going to put some pepper in. No salt, because that ham is salty, and I'm going to reseason at the end to see. I don't want to over salt it because we're eating it with ham as well, and everything's going to be a little bit salty too. I'm going to grind up, I don't know, maybe 20 peppercorns-ish. Into my pot. I used Cam Pot peppercorns because that's what I have today. That's what they look like, and you can find them at campot-pepper.asia. These are from Cambodia. Now let me just show you how quickly those reduced down. Now I have about, I don't know, an inch of water in the bottom, and that's good because it's going to end up boiling the majority of it out. You're going to reduce that liquid and concentrate the flavors of the chicken broth, etc. It's going to be so tasty in there. Anyways, these are nearly done, so sit tight and you'll see. I'm also going to put just a dash of cayenne pepper because we like everything just a little bit spicy. I think we put cayenne pepper in everything. Gorgeous. Okay, these greens are done. They don't take long at all. It took probably 12 minutes or so to be done. So I'm going to put them in a serving bowl so you can see them. Beautiful.
They smell good.
I can't wait to taste them because I know these guys are going to taste great.
If you haven't never had Swiss chard, you don't know what you're missing. It's so good.
It's very similar to spinach.
Very similar, but I think it has a sweeter flavor.
Yeah? Well, I'm just going to use a slotted spoon because you may have some excess liquid in the bottom, and that's okay. You just want to kind of drain it out, you know? You don't want to serve all that liquid with your chard. Now you have those little pieces of beautiful ham in here,
and it's been fried, so it's crispy,
and all
and the fat rendered out. Oh, so good.
Now you can see how all those greens gave me this much.
Oh, you had a heap of greens.
This is how much you got. So you're gonna wanna get 2 big, giant packs at least if you wanna serve a substantial amount to people. If you have a bunch of people coming over for your holiday or whatever, you wanna make sure that you get what you need.
Yes, you would need to use like a spaghetti pot.
And to tell you the truth, these are gonna go quick. These will be gone. I bet we won't even have leftovers for tomorrow.
No, there won't be any leftovers.
So
that'd be good even for a midnight snack.
So this is what they look like. Aren't they gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's what it looks like. You have those little bits of ham in there. I don't think that it needs any salt because the chicken broth had salt. The ham had a little bit of salt. Okay. You ready?
Let's see. Hot. Man, that is delicious.
I think that might be my favorite thing.
I love that, Kim.
You can really taste that ham. Beautiful.
What a nice addition.
The chicken broth is essential.
Yes.
To me. Some kind of broth. You want beef broth even you can use.
Or
but
vegetable broth.
Veggie. But chicken, I think, is the most flavorful and most savory to make these taste the way I want them to taste.
Right.
Now, I do pretty much the exact same thing for any other kind of green, for collard greens, things that even take longer. You just use a little bit more liquid or add a little bit more if you need to as you go, if it disappears. And that's it. Let it go for longer.
It's lovely. Very, very tasty.
Oh, these are so good. So here you go. This is my beautiful ham and Swiss chard, I guess, green Swiss chard. And you want to do that. That is so tasty. Love it. All right? Yes. Make sure you check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com. Follow me on Twitter at cookingwithkime with a capital E. Like the fan page, facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it. That's all. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, those are yummy.